Hey guys, John Conley from UncleJohnSoap.com. I was just following a thread on Facebook about, there's sort of a couple different threads that have been going on over the last few days about artisan soaps and budget, basically. What can you afford and what's worth the money and things like that. And I haven't seen everything. I've been catching bits and pieces because I've been busy making stuff. But anyway, I do pop in once in a while and I get to see some things. I know Christopher David Bailey did a video, Anthony Esposito did a video, Douglas Smythe just did a sort of a reply to some of it, but it wasn't necessarily to those two guys, I don't think. I mean, there may be some crossover, but I know there was some people that jumped in on those three main threads who, and this is only a couple people, who basically said that reformulating a soap basically equates to a money grab. You see it, big companies do it all the time, you know, new and improved, 2.0, 3.0, here's the newest version, latest, greatest. The last one, you know, clean your windows, this one will clean your windows and change your oil, whatever. It's part of business. Now, as small artisan soap makers, and I can only speak truly for me, but I'm sure there's a few that are the same. In fact, I'm probably one of the people out here who makes the smallest batches around each time I make a scent. And part of it's because of space constraints. I have a small retail space here, which is also my workshop. And guess what? It's all fitting in 350 square feet. Think about that. Fit it all in there. So, anyway, sorry about the lighting. It's weird. Ball cap, the lights are strange. Sun's in and out of the clouds. So, here's my take on it. And like I said, I've watched a few people and some of the comments. As small artisan soap makers, we can afford to reformulate things because we buy raw materials in smaller quantities, and we may end up with more downtime than the bigger companies. It's just us, or maybe, you know, us and a couple people. It's me and my daughters, you know, two of my kids. So I don't have some huge company or anything out here, but you know, if I get some downtime in the middle of winter, I'll play around with the main recipe. And you know, if I happen to trip on something that improves a product, do you think I'm just going to toss that out? No, I'm going to go ahead and use the improvement as long as it truly does improve the product. You know, if I don't like the slickness of my current formula, or it's been great but I think it could be better and I actually make it better, hey, that's the way I'm going to do it from now on. Does that mean there's nothing wrong with the old soaps? Not at all. I think they're great. I love my soaps. Part of it is I'm a little biased, okay? But there are other people out there that love my soaps too. The slickness, the cushion, the lather, the scent, whatever it is. As far as being a money grab, sometimes we will do a scent reformulation, or not a reformulation, a new scent formulation, because yeah, you want to add products. I mean, I do that with my bath soaps. I feel like making a new scent. Why not? It doesn't cost me much. I don't have to order a, you know, tanker load of it. And as you can see right here, I do mostly out of 1 pound bottles. So it's easy enough for me to switch back and forth and do whatever I want to do. So yeah, if things slow down a little bit, sometimes as an artisan, as a maker, we're our own worst critics. You know, why, oh my gosh, why did that soap stop selling all of a sudden? Well, there's several reasons. One, in the small circle that we're in the shave groups on Facebook or Google Plus, or I don't mess with Reddit. That just turns into a mess for me. But anyway, maybe I've flooded that part for now. You know, maybe in a pass around next year, you know, it'll gain a little more interest with a few more new people and I can work into their rotations. But, you know, sometimes they just don't like the scents I offer. And that's okay. It happens. But if I make up a new scent, say a lime scent for Christopher David Bailey, I'm sure I'll get at least a few sales out of that new scent. And again, I make small enough batches that if I only sell a third of the batch, I'm okay. The rest will sell. And I have enough local customers because of the retail location that I'm in. It's sort of a touristy area, but it's also, there's a lot of great locals that help keep me in business here. My only business is not shave, obviously, beard stuff too, bath soaps, body scrubs, laundry soap. Laundry soap's really what started this whole journey for me, making a laundry powder. One that works in high efficiency machines and regular machines. And it took me a while, and I'll still tweak that recipe. So we're not trying to grab money. There may be times when we find a cheaper way to do the same results. There may be times that the soap price goes up because we did find an improvement. It does cost a little bit more, but it may be worth it in the long run. So you gotta stay kind of objective. Christopher Bailey, I think his main point was, so many people get caught up in the hobby aspect of this. And sorry if I'm rambling, guys. I'm all over the map, but you're probably used to it by now. There's so many guys that get caught up in the hobby aspect of this, of wet shaving, that they get caught up in you have to have this and this and this, only the best, this razor, that soap, that aftershave, pre-shave balms, aftershave balms. And sometimes those things tend to start getting a little more pricey. I collected vintage firearms for a while. Same thing. Everybody went for the top-notch, high-dollar things, and they were cool. Absolutely. Did I have the budget for it? No. I went for the more obscure things that I could find a little cheaper and were actually a little more unique. Back in the 80s, Mustang 5.0s, when they came back around, we called them a Me Too car because in Jersey, everybody had a Mustang GT 5.0 and a gold chain on their neck, and not me. I drove a 68 Rambler Ambassador at that time, and the thing ran like a champ, and I loved it. And guess what? It could keep up with most of the Mustangs. So whatever. Back on topic. Christopher had a point. You buy what you can with what you got. You enjoy what you can with the budget that you have. Me, I've never had a lot of money, and sometimes I would buy cheap just for cheap. Sometimes I would buy cheap or inexpensive things because I knew I could do the job with that just as well. Sometimes I didn't have a choice. If I only had, $20 for a car part, guess what? My fat old butt was getting out in the junkyard and scrapping it myself. Of course, now insurance regulations make that near impossible in every state in the union, but okay, same deal. It all depends on where you are in life. It doesn't have to be expensive. Wet shaving itself can be very money saving if you don't turn it into a hobby. Like I said, 8-9 years ago, I bought a Mercor razor, double edge, online. Read a couple good reviews about it. Didn't know anything about double edge razors. I just happened to trip on one article about saving money by shaving with double edge again. Blades were hard to find locally, but I found a source online where I could get them relatively inexpensively. And I still used the canned goo at the time. And I saved money on blades alone. Tossed my cartridge handle right in the trash. Okay. Then fast forward 7-8 years, and then I'm making shave soaps. A 5-ounce by weight jar of my shave soap costs $15 plus shipping. And if you like it and you stick with just that jar until it's empty and then buy another jar from somebody else, you're going to save money. If you turn it into a hobby and you've got 20 to 30, 40, 50 soaps in your closet, that's a hobby. So, whole different topic. But I don't think the artisans are trying to rip anybody off. Do I think it happens? Every once in a while we'll have an artisan sneak in, and they may not even be an artisan. Sometimes they're trying to play artisan, somebody else is making their stuff and they're relabeling. That's a whole different story. There's somebody doing that now that's kind of being weird, and I'm pretty sure they're not making their own stuff, and I don't know personally how it performs, but that looks like a money grab to me. But most of the artisans I've dealt with in these groups are very open and honest. They may not share everything behind the scenes with you, but we are in business to make money. The number one rule of business is you got to turn a profit. If you're not going to turn a profit, get out of business. So, all right, guys. I think I've rambled enough, but I just wanted to throw that out there. If you got $5 to spend on soap, you can find shave soap that will perform for $5. Maybe not brand new. Maybe it's part of a, maybe it's part of a raffle. Maybe somebody's just selling a half a jar of soap that, they got tired of the scent or whatever. The opportunities are available. Then you have the more inexpensive pucks. Some of them are okay. Williams are not very expensive pucks. But I found that once you sort of learn how to work with them, they're not bad. You do what you can with what you got. Follow your heart, follow your wallet, and screw everything else. Alright guys, have a great evening.